Hi peeps, it's Tersse back in the squat box again, talking again about guns and America. It's quite simple to understand why America is so fucked up. They're still a child nation. That's basically what's wrong with America. They're still a child nation. They haven't matured, they haven't grown up yet. They're still living in the days of the Wild West, you know. They still believe themselves to be fighting some weird battle against, you know, round every corner there's some murderer, some horrible thing that's going to jump out and snatch your life away, and then they all believe that they need to have a gun to protect themselves against it. Americans are like children who have been told too many horror stories. Too many stories about wild Indians, you know. Too many horror stories about around every bend there's some danger, some bear, wild cat, some charging buffalo that you need to protect yourself against. They seem to not recognise the fact that they live in cities now. I mean, some people in America live in cities that are completely different from the cities around the world. You can't even see the sky, the buildings are so high. But they still believe they need a gun in case some wild Indian jumps out with a tomahawk and chops your fucking head off. Some wild bear's going to suddenly try and maul you to death. Some rattlesnake is going to try and bite you in the middle of Times Square, so you need a gun to protect yourself against it. No. You know fine well the thing you're trying to protect yourself against is other people, because guns don't kill people, people kill people. But you know, if all the people you ever met didn't have a gun, the worst you could expect is perhaps a loose tooth, a bleeding nose, you know, a sore jaw, a black eye. That's what you could expect. It's time for America to mature and grow up. You've got to start to look at life from a mature adult attitude, and not that 18-year-old gung-ho Wild West gunslinger mentality. I know that the westerns you watched as a kid gave you that thirst to carry a gun and be the hero. But that kind of life is gone. It doesn't exist anymore. It hasn't existed for 100 years or more. America must be the slowest nation in the world to understand that gun control within the society they live in makes sense. Honestly, that's basically it. You're the slowest nation in the fucking history of the world to understand that gun control within your society makes sense. It's time for America to grow up. It's time for you to stop being teenagers. It's time for America to mature and become a proper mature state. It's the 21st fucking century. We're not living in the 1800s anymore. There's no ravening wild packs of red Indians running around chopping people's heads off and taking scalps, you know what I mean? There's no wild bears roaming New York anymore, or Chicago, you know. It's time for you to stop being children. When I was a child, I thought as a child. And you know that quote? Yeah, well, I know that some of the nations in Europe are a little older, be more established than America. But for fuck's sake, America, you know, it's time for you to stop being a child. As a nation, it's time for you to realise that if you're ever going to be a mature nation, you've got to put away your childish toys. I think it's about time. Don't you? It's not your fucking bad.